Well, good morning, West Ham fans. Happy Friday. We have done another week, my friends. We have done another week. And it's a West Ham free weekend. West Ham can't ruin it. Yeah, well, I've got a gig on Saturday in Wembley. Not Wembley Arena, Wembley Stadium, but I'm looking forward to that. It's time for a morning musing. You guys are really enjoying it, and I'm really enjoying them. In all honesty, I'm enjoying them as well. It's great to start the day off with a bit of a mass debate. If ever you need to get the blood pumping, I've been told a good mass debate gets you going. So that's what we're doing. So just have to pop out to the co-op and get Flo some milk for a breakfast. She can wait. She can wait because it's you guys I want to talk about. It's you guys I want to talk to. And you guys are really enjoying them. So we're going to keep doing as much as we can. I wanted to talk about the academy today. And the reason why I want to talk about the academy is A, it's very important. It's very close to my heart. But B, the more and more, and I think Anton's going to do a show about the summer priorities and things like that. And every time we've had a situation where we've needed a summer rebuild, we haven't quite hit the mark. We haven't quite been able to get all the bodies we've wanted to get in. And I think with a number of players leaving as well, the academy isn't going to be almost nice to have, but I think the academy is going to be an essential part of the squad rebuild next season, which could bode well for the sort of traditionalists who want to see West Ham Academy boys make, their way in a pathway into the squad. And, we've got a situation now, and I've spoken about it before on the Academy show every Monday, 6 p.m. UK time, where we talk about just the conveyor belt we're starting to see now. We've got 8 players out on loan, something like that, 8 academy players out on loan. We've got a number of the 8, and because of that, it's not only for those players, because in all honesty, there's probably, I reckon, maybe 1 or 2 at the moment of those guys who could potentially step up into the first team. But for the others, because they've gone out on loan, it's allowed the next crop to come through, and there's some really good guys in that crop, I think, who can make it. So it might mean that their progress is a bit quicker, rather than, I think, it's fair to say, we expect Freddie Potts to come back next year and compete for a first team, starting berth, really, in that CDM role. But that's taken him 2 years of loan spells. And I think actually, we get kids into the system earlier on, into the 21s. That then means rather than a 2-year process, I mean, Freddie's probably about 22, 23. Or about that, probably about 22, I think. Whereas someone like Edges Colin Beckis, he'll be a little bit further down the line already. He's 17, 18, so, it could be 2-3 years earlier than maybe the current regime would get him into the pathway, if that makes sense. So it's making a real impact. And obviously then after that, the 16s are coming into the 18s to oversee sort of a lack of depth in the under 18s. Because those the top boys in the 18s move up to the 21s. But anyway, what I'm trying to say is I think there's going to be a number of boys who are going to be plugging gaps in the West Ham squad this summer or going into the 25-26 season, for sure, as Mr. Lopetegui would say. And that does excite me. It does excite me. It could save us millions. The academy, this crop of academy players coming through, could save us millions. You got to think, how much would an Ollie Scars cost you? How much would a Lewis Orford cost you? How much would a Freddie Potts cost you? How much would a Caelan Casey cost you? How much would a Mason Terry, who's just signed a new deal, extended his contract to 2020 and summer 2027, having a great time out on loan. And actually, I think that's the perfect way. Mason's training with the 21s, so occasionally he's been moved up to the first team to help facilitate, being training goalkeeper for training sessions in the first team. But then on top of that, he's also playing men's football for AFC Hornchurch. And obviously, they lost on penalties in the Essex Cup final to Canvey Island on Wednesday night. But again, that's, we seem to be getting it right. And and people will allude to the fact, oh, why did we do it before under Moyes? I don't think personally we had that good a crop of players, and now Potter's come into this as not hit oil, hit a gold mine here, but it's the start of a proper pathway, which is exciting, which is very exciting. I think you can see, it says you've got Freddie coming in, that could save you. I mean, Banzuzi's £15 million, Angel Gomez, although we offered him, £3 a week or whatever, but if you're to be believed, offered him less than what we're paying Guerrero Rodriguez, which I don't know if that's true or not. But you think that with a signing on fee, you're going to be looking north of £20 million probably. And I think Freddie, you've got that. Also, you've got that connection, which means that the player might not necessarily see his time at West Ham as a career rather than as a love as well. Footballers have a short career, and I think sometimes we assume they have a level of loyalty. And unless they're a fan, that loyalty isn't as strong, for sure. And I know I've said for sure several times. It's a bit of Lopetegui-itis, unfortunately. But I'm really excited about what we've got not even the next year, the next 2-3 years. You could have a situation where you've got a midfield of Lewis Orford and Freddie Potts in the two. That makes me slightly moist. You've got a situation where maybe in 3 years' time, you've got Energis Golombekis playing left side of a back three. That's exciting. You've got Ezra Mayers potentially coming in. You've got Junior Robinson. You've got Josh Ajala in 3 years' time. Could be an absolute belt of a player if he just, bulks up a little bit. I can't speak. Look at fucking size me, but he's a skinny lad. There's guys, Preston Fearon, in 3 years' time, it could be frightening how good this guy is. And for me, Preston, there is no one like him in the club. I don't even know how to describe him in terms of his style of football. It sounds detrimental, but he's like I don't want to say the word drifter, but he drifts around in the game. He doesn't, but you can put a tackle in, but he'll then pick up the ball and then do an incredible through ball, just enough just to go to the top. And it's fascinating. It's fascinating watching him, and he's still technically an under-18 player. Obviously, under-18s through to the final of the Premier League Cup, where they play Reading. Still not really a time or date on that. I think it's more likely to be the end of April, early May, or a venue indeed. But it's exciting times, and it's when people, and it's these times where people go, there is a bit of doom and gloom about the place. But what we've got is we've got a manager, we've got a setup, rather, we've got a head coach, we've got a pathway which is now geared up to bring in and work with these players to get them into first team. Plus, don't forget, in the summer, hopefully, we're going to be welcoming Daniel Cummings from Celtic. We've been looking at Tyler Dribbling, from Southampton. I'll talk about probably later on about some of the Danish boys or the Superliga guys we're interested in. They're very young as well. We've still got guys in the age. We don't forget we got in David Chigueda from Man City. We got in David Balogun from Man United. They've got some big careers ahead of them. We got Josh Landers as well, who hasn't stopped scoring since joining. He's scored against every under-18 side he's faced since joining. So it's it is an exciting time, but it's going to take time. And that's the issue that unfortunately we never have is time. Time is a very, very it's a very, very scarce commodity, and footballers don't get it. Football managers, head coaches don't have time, and that's the issue. And it's not just that, but also the issue for the players, because you've seen, you know, what could have happened to a Sonny Perkins if he stayed at West Ham, a Harrison Ashby. You got to think these guys recently. They've thought the grass was green on the other side, and it hasn't panned out the way they wanted it to pan out. if we had this system there, would we have lost them? For me, I don't think. Maybe potentially Mbama in 18 months, 2 years time, you might regret that one slipping through the fingers. But going through the list of players that we've let go, I don't think there's one I've gone, oh, we've missed out on that one. And this is 3-4 years down the line afterwards. Someone spoke to me today, the other day, about Grady Diangana, and that's what got the old juices flowing. Obviously, Grady, we sold him for £18 million to West Brom. An absolute fucking steal when you look at it now. But it was like the world in its arse had fallen out of his arse when amongst the West Ham. I mean, even Mark Noble took to Twitter, a man who never reads on social media, took to Twitter to condemn that selling. And again, it's a great. What could Grady have done if he stayed here? I don't know, but we got £18 million for him, and actually, would he have gone on to make 150 appearances? I don't think so. Ben Johnson as well, he made 50, 60 appearances for West Ham. He's struggling to get time at Ipswich. Probably more likely to get a lot of time in Ipswich if they go down. But yeah, no, it's exciting. I'm excited. I'm a little bit horny about what the academy can do. And that's why I implore you, if you can get down to cheer on the under-21s, please do. It's a £5 for adults. It's £1 for kids. I think if you bring your season ticket with you, it's free. And you can see, obviously we do the academy show on a Monday.